Imagine you're a traveller from the stars. You've watched civilizations rise and fall, watched empires of silicon and flesh carve paths through time. But here on this blue and restless world, you see something different. You expect the familiar patterns: domination, extinction, survival at all costs. At first it's predictable. The dominant species is a violent, clever primate. It builds, conquers, burns, and blooms again. Firelight flickers against the shadow of its ambition. But then, something remarkable. From the dark, the eyes of wolves begin to glint, not with hunger, but curiosity. The fires do not drive them away. They draw them in, closer than any wild creature has dared to tread. And so begins a story the cosmos rarely tells. A bond not born of fear or conquest, but of something stranger. A quiet miracle, a force that alters the course of human evolution. An alliance, rare, radiant, and unlike anything else in the cosmos. You observe them. Those first wolves that dared the firelight. They linger at the edge of camps, shadows on the periphery of human life, not as prey, not as threats, but as something else, something waiting to be named. At first, both species are wary. The humans throw stones, they shout, and bare teeth of their own. The wolves watch from the shadows, poised to flee at the slightest sign of threat. But not all humans turn them away. Some offer scraps, bones licked clean, the charred ends of meat. And the wolves accept. It's a fragile truce, one built not on words or treaties, but on need. The wolves are allowed to scavenge the scraps, lingering just beyond the reach of spears and firelight. In return, they offer something quietly invaluable, an early warning. When danger prowls in the dark, be it rival tribes, great cats, or something worse, the wolves stir first, ears pricking, bodies tense. The humans begin to notice. Some begin to stay. Nights pass, moons wax and wane, and the boldest wolves no longer flinch at the crackle of firewood or the cough of a human child. They sleep closer. They wake when the humans wake. They follow. And in time, they listen. The humans too begin to change. They leave out scraps deliberately. They speak to the wolves as if they understand. They give them names, not names like empires or stars, but names that carry warmth, affection, names that mean you belong. And so the transformation begins, not just of the wolves, but of the humans too. One becomes more trusting, the other more tame, but neither loses its strength. The wild has found a home by the fire, and the fire has gained eyes in the dark. Watching it unfold is witnessing an evolutionary gamble. You see the wolves trade total freedom for safety, for scraps, for something they cannot name. The humans in turn accept the predator into their homes. It's not instinctual, it's not safe, but it works. Two predators wired to distrust somehow begin to trust. This alliance offers more than survival and comfort. The wolves begin to serve as sentinels, trackers, guardians. Their senses stretch into the night where human eyes fail. Their instincts sharpen the tribe's own. They are in many ways the first minds we shaped not from stone or sinew, but shaped through trust, time, and something unspoken. Living extensions of the tribe's senses, stitched not by hands, but by shared instinct. In this shared journey, something remarkable begins. Over generations they change, not just in behaviour, but in body and brain. Wolves grow more expressive, more attuned to human gestures and emotions. Humans grow more sensitive to canine signals, tone, posture, gaze. It is a co-evolution written not in records or runes, but in flesh and spirit. An alliance so ancient, so complete, that both species reshape themselves around the other, not just as master and servant, but as partners, as family. Across the known patterns of life, this kind of alliance is nearly unheard of. Yes, there are mutualisms, birds that clean the teeth of reptiles, fish that travel with sharks, but these are instinctual, transactional, and fleeting. But this is something else entirely. It is emotional. It is enduring. It is a partnership forged not by survival alone, but by something far rarer: choice. Predators do not make peace with other predators. They compete, they clash, they kill. Yet here on this small blue world, two hunters walked side by side and chose cooperation over conquest. Nature devours itself. Evolution favours the lone survivor, and yet these two species bent that rule. Together they rewrote it. This may be the only world in the galaxy where such a thing has occurred. A mutual evolution of mind, muscle and meaning, where loyalty was selected for, where affection became a survival trait. A wolf did not just become a dog, and a man did not just become the one followed. Together they became something else entirely. Now millennia later, the bond remains, stronger than ever. Dogs do not serve us, they choose us. They sleep at our feet, guard our homes, read our emotions with frightening precision. They know when we're happy, and they know when we're broken. And when the end comes for us or for them, they do not run, they stay. Dogs have walked into war zones beside their humans. They have stepped into fires. They have waited by the rubble of fallen buildings, long after all hope has passed, because their human was inside. And when we lose them, we grieve as if we've lost blood, because in a way we have. We hold funerals. We clutch collars that no longer jingle. We still hear claws on the floor, even when the floor is empty. We whisper goodbyes to empty beds and silent rooms, because silence like that only follows family. And in their final moments, they do not look away. Even struggling for breath, their eyes search for us, not out of fear, but out of love. Because if they are going to go, they want to go looking at their human. They do not understand death, only loyalty, only love. They would die for us, and more heartbreakingly, they would die with us, quietly, faithfully, at our side, even as the flames rise or the ground shakes beneath them, not out of courage or bravery, but because they can't fathom leaving us behind, not even at the end. Not because they have to, because they want to. Because to a dog we are their world, and they somehow became ours. And now imagine yourself once more aboard your vessel, drifting above this blue planet, watching through the veil of atmosphere and time. You have seen war, you have seen conquest, you have studied alliances forged through fear, necessity, or dominion. But this is something else. A creature that would follow another into fire, not from orders but from love. A bond that transcends language, blood, even death itself. You look down at a world where a dog curls beside a dying man, where a soldier falls and a loyal companion waits, refusing to leave, where a child cries and fear and heartbeat answer, where a grave is dug and a paw print is pressed into the earth beside it. What species creates such loyalty? What kind of love does not falter in the face of pain, loss, or time? You do not have the words, and they don't need the words, but the feeling is there, rare, unspoken, beautiful. So if there is one truth you carry with you, far beyond this planet and back into the stars, let it be this, that on one small world in a quiet corner of the cosmos, two predators found each other, and what they became, a gift, a miracle only that world knows. I'm the Omega Signal, and thank you for sticking with me.